All right, we're going to continue with a little bit of notes. So today is the what? 9th? All right, and we're going to continue our discussion about inequalities. Right under where it says start study guide, what I want you to do is give yourself a little cheat sheet. So make a less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and then a greater than or equal to. So this is a less than. This is a greater than symbol. That is a less than or equal to. And this is a greater than. Okay, so we're going to give ourselves a little cheat sheet. Now, if you get confused, do you remember, you can always think about that. I mean, if it's going to be helpful to you, think back to when you were in 2nd grade and your teacher was saying to you that, you know, the alligator always wants to eat the quantity that is more. So in this case, the number that's over here is going to be the greater number, right? The way I remember it is that the one on the left is less. That's less than. That's how I remember that. And once I have the less than, I can figure out that this one's greater than, this one's less than or equal to. So for me, I only really have to, if I get stuck, I just go back to thinking to myself, which one's left, less than. Okay? All right. So up here, this is part of your notes from the other day. An inequality is a mathematical sentence that contains the symbols less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. And you remember our example from, what was it, Tuesday? We were talking about write at least 5 sentences, which means could you write 2 sentences, Casey? Could you write 2 sentences? No. Could you write 3 sentences? Could you write 4? Could you write 5? Yes? Could you write 6? Right. So any number 5 or above would be okay, right? So in that example, I'm just going to rewrite it. You don't have to write this. X would be the number of sentences, and that number has to be greater than or equal to 5. Okay, so if I put number 2 in there as an X, would that be okay? No, because it's not greater than or equal to 5. But if I put the number 6 in there, that makes this statement true. Okay, does that make sense so far? Just recap from the other day. All right. So now we did a little bit of graphing on Tuesday as well. We're going to go into the equations, though. This should be pretty simple for you to get a hold of. So our first example is solving v, which is some number, plus 3. So that's going to be less than 5. So let me ask you this. Just by looking at it, what's the highest possible number that it could be in order to still be less than 5? Yeah, well, yeah, it has to be less than 5, though. So really, 1 is the highest number it could possibly be. Whatever number, actually, it's going to be like 1.99 is going to be the highest number it could possibly be. Because it still has to be, whatever we put in here, remember, has to be less than 5. Okay? So the way we figure this out is, and I don't want you to freak out, because the way you solve this is the same way you solve the 1-step and 2-step equations. Okay? So right now, the mystery is our mystery number. If you add 3 to our mystery number, it's still going to be less than 5. So if you need to, treat it the way you would treat something that has an equal sign in it. So if it's being increased by 3, what we have to do is, to get it by itself, decrease both sides by 3. So we're going to take 3 away from this side and take 3 away from this side. Remember, it's our seesaw. We've got to keep it in balance. Whatever we do to one side, we've got to do to the other. So then when we take 3 away from 3, we get 0 on this side. 5 minus 3 is 2 on this side. Okay? And we talked about a little bit about graphing too. You see that this is an open circle. I'm going to put over here to the left that it's an open circle. And this one over here is a closed circle. So put this one on your paper too. Open circle and a closed circle. And the difference is that this K is greater than or equal to, which means you gotta get a closed circle. Greater than or equal to 8. And if you get confused about this, think back to when you were in 2nd grade and you had to put numbers on a number line. You always put a colored in dot. When you like, if the answer is 4 and you had to put it on a number line, your number line was always solid colored in. Okay. All right. So let's go down. We're gonna do these 6 together on the bottom, and then on the back we're gonna get you off and running. Okay. So what number 1 says is C minus 1 is gonna be less than 4. So if you really need to see it, we know that it's gonna be an open circle or a closed circle. Blake? Is my circle going to be open or closed up here for number 1? That's right. It's going to be open because 4 is not a possible answer. So let's see if we can solve this inequality. C, when it's decreased by 1, is still going to be less than 4. So what we're going to do is we're trying to get this C all by itself. Whatever we do to one side, we're going to do the other side. So in order to make this a 0, we have a negative 1. Adding a positive 1 will bring that to 0, which means we add a positive 1 to this side. So when we add negative 1 plus 1, we get 0. That's going to leave the C over here. We're going to keep our sign, and then 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, so C is going to be less than 5. Actually, you know what? When we're graphing, sorry. So it's going to be an open circle. And then we're going to color in our line everything less than 5. Because these are our possible solutions. So 4.99 is going to be the highest number I can put in this equation and make it be a true statement. All right, let's move to number 2. T is being increased by 4, and it's going to be greater than negative 1. Okay, so we're going to get the T by itself. We take 4 away from this side. We take 4 away from this side. Is my number over here going to be positive or negative? On the right-hand side, is this going to be positive or negative? Zuri, is my answer over here on the right-hand side, is it going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
How do you know?
It's 2 negatives equals positive.
Well, I owe you $1, and then I borrow 4 more dollars. Negative. It's going to be more negative, right? So we're going to take 4 away from this side. If we take 4 away from this side, the only thing we're left is that with a T, it's going to be greater than negative 5. So is my circle open or closed, Julian?
Oh, no.
Is it closed? Remember, we have a less than or equal to, less than or a greater than, or a greater than or equal to. This one's closed and this one's open. So this one's a greater than. Which one's going to be less? Is it going to be open or closed? Open. That's right. So I'm going to put an open circle in the negative 5. Which way am I drawing my line? To the right or to the left? If T is greater than negative 5, any number you put in there is going to be greater than negative 5. Which direction is my line going to go? Joseph, which way is my line going to go? Put a number in there that's going to make that statement true. T is greater than negative 5. So is negative 4 greater than negative 5? How about 1? Is positive 1 greater than negative 5? Positive 1 is less than negative 5? If I owe you $5, who's got more money? Me, who has $1, or you that owes $5? Yeah, so 1 is a positive number. So if I just take this out and substitute in a number, I'm just going to take this T out and put in a 1. Is that going to be greater than negative 5? Yes. So I know that 1 is a possible solution. So which way is my line going to go? To the left or to the right, Matt?
Right.
To the right. To the right, to the right. or we're going to color in our line, and then make sure you put this, it's really, really important that you put this arrow. I mean, I know you think it's silly, but it is really important because it indicates that this line will go on forever. You could put any number up to 400,017,000, and it would still make this statement true. All right. Oh my gosh, there's fractions. Now I'm going to freak out. What are we trying to get by itself? Let's do this one at a time. Deidre, what are we trying to get by itself? R. Okay. What is happening to the R right now? What's happening to the R? Alex.
It's being divided by 2.
It's being divided by 2. So what is the opposite of division? Katie. Multiplication. So we're going to multiply by 2. Okay. If I multiply by 2, what I'm going to end up with getting is a 1R. I don't have to write the 1. And then I'm going to carry my signs down, greater than 5 times 2. Julian. What's 5 times 2? 5 times 2. 5, 2 times. What did you say? Oh, sorry. Ha! Sorry, I thought you said 8. Ha! All right. So, is my circle open or closed, Fatima?
Closed.
Why do you say closed?
Because I know why, but I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Well, do the best you can.
Because
Something in your gut tells you. Okay, so let's think about what makes this statement true. R is great. The number R, which is a mystery number, okay, is going to be greater than 10. So could I put 10 in here and make it a true statement? Is 10 greater than 10? No, it's equal to, right? Okay. So is 9 greater than 10? No. Is 11 greater than 10? Right. So 11 could be one of my answers, okay? So 10 could never be one of my answers. Does that make sense? So what you would do is you put an open circle because 10 could never be an answer. See with this one right here? V is going to be less than 2. So 2 is never going to be one of my answers. Okay? But however, with this one, K is greater than or equal to 8. 8 could be one of my answers. So I have to include it in my solid line. Does that make sense? Okay. Matt, do you have a question?
Oh, I was just asking. So if 10 could be
Yep.
the answers, it would be closed.
It would be a closed circle. That's right. If this sign were a greater than or equal to, then I would color in my circle. Good question. All right. So, which way is my line going? To the left or to the right? So let me ask you this: Is 9 a possible answer? Is 9 going to be greater than 10? No. Is 11 greater than 10? Right. So which way is my line going to go, Manal? To the right. To the right. To the right. We're going to color it in solid. And like I said before, you got to remember to color in the arrow because this line will go on forever. Yes, Christina.
I think I figured out a pattern.
Oh, you're good at those. What's your pattern?
Well, if it's greater than or less than, the circle is going to be open.
Yep.
And if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's going to be
You got it. Perfect. All right, so right now, just by looking at it, is my circle on my graph going to be open or closed, Deja? For number 4, is my circle going to be open or closed? Okay, why do you say closed? Look up at the examples, example 1 and example 2 up here. See how this one is a less than? This one's a less than. Is this circle open or closed? Open, that's right. Is this circle open or closed? Right. See that there's an equal sign underneath there? So if you don't see an equal sign, you know that this circle is going to be open. So right now, if we're going to graph this, you know it's going to be an open circle because there's no equal sign underneath there. Okay. What are we trying to get by itself? Casey, what are we trying to get by itself? W. What's happening to little Mr. W right now? Matt.
Being multiplied
Meaning multiply by 3. So what do we have to do? We're going to do the opposite, which is, Jada, what's the opposite of multiply? Divide. We're going to divide what? That's right. We're going to divide by 3. When we divide by 3, we're going to get W by itself. We're going to keep our sign. What do we get when we divide negative 3 by a positive 3? Is my answer going to be positive or negative? All I want to know is my answer going to be positive or negative. Fatima, is my answer going to be positive or negative? I got a negative divided by a positive. The signs are negative. That's right. It's going to be a negative. Negative what?
Negative.
That's right. Negative 1. All right. So what's going to make sense? Okay, so we know that my circle is going to be open. Okay. If I take out the W and I put in negative 2, is negative 2, this is a tricky one, is negative 2 less than negative 1? Deidre?
Yes.
Yes. So which way is my line going to go? Left, right? I mean, correct. Huh. So I'm going to go to the left, and then I'm going to make sure that my arrow is at the end. All right, I'm going to breeze through this one because I think you're getting the hang of it. I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to get this P by itself. So the P is being multiplied by 2 right now, so I divide by 2 on both sides. Divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. I keep my sign. 6 divided by 2 is 3. All right? So, is my circle going to be open or closed? Joseph? Closed. You are correct. Why? Because you got this equal sign right here, right? All right, so what's going to make sense? Is 2 greater than or equal to 3? Like, is 2 greater than or equal to 3? If I take out the P and put in a 2, is that a true statement? No. So which way is my line going to go? To the right. You got it. Wow, this is a lot easier than I thought. All right. V minus 4 is less than or equal to 3. So V, I'm trying to get by itself. V is being decreased by 4, so I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Is my answer going to be positive or negative, Zuri? 3 plus 4. Positive, right? V's by itself, less than or equal to 7. So is my circle going to be open or closed, Matt? Closed. You're right. All right. So what's going to make this statement true? Is 8 less than or equal to 7? Christina, is 8 less than or equal to 7? No. Is 6 less than or equal to 7? So which way is my line going to go? To the left. You are correct. All right. So, has everybody got this so far? How are we feeling? Okay? Scale of 1 to 5. 1 being, I have no idea what you're talking about. 5 being, I got this.
4.5.
4.5. I like it. I like it. Good.
1.
Awesome. Yay. All right. Let's turn this over then. And I'm going to ask you to give it your best shot, 1 through 8. And I am coming around to help you if you need it.